Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do your October the 4th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. I hope you're doing well this morning. Let's go ahead and get into that meditation. All right. The title of today's meditation, Hope in a New Way Forward. Hope begins when we think that it might be possible for us to stop using against our own will and stay clean. That comes from the Living Clean book, chapter 7, Living Our Principles. By the time many of us show up to our first meeting, we have broken the trust of many people in our lives. For some of us, there wasn't a single person left in our lives who would believe us, even if we told them the sun rises in the east. No matter how many people we burned in active addiction over and over again, one person was more likely than any to be skeptical of anything we said: ourselves. This is one of the huge stumbling blocks that stops many of us from truly feeling hope when we first get clean. We know ourselves. We can't be trusted. Sometimes people in our lives looked at the way we used and accused us of having no willpower. But the truth of the matter was that we had so much self will that we had lost all freedom to choose. There was no space between our impulses and our actions. Getting clean? Sure, no problem. We can do that just fine. That is, just until we feel like using, then all bets are off. One of the most courageous things we have to do in order to get clean is to allow a little bit of hope into our spirit, defying all of the evidence to the contrary we have amassed in our active addiction. People who use the way we use don't get clean. But then we find ourselves in rooms filled with people who use the way we used, and they're clean, allegedly. Maybe, is it possible? Self-will, impulsive behavior, obsession and compulsion, even though many of us came to innate blaming the world around us for our problems, a lot of us felt deep down that we were too flawed to have the lives we wanted. I want to reread that because that is a beautiful sentence and I don't want to miss it. Self-will, impulsive behavior, obsession, and compulsion. Even though many of us came to innate blaming the world around us for our problems, a lot of us felt deep down that we were too flawed to have the lives we wanted in NA. In NA, we found people with flaws just as deep as ourselves, and they taught us how to become free. It's hard to see a way forward when I'm standing in my own way. I will let other addicts show me how to step aside and find a way out. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. What a powerful meditation. Hope in a new way forward. It nailed it, right? I was so excited. I think I stuttered in my reading and just kept on like I hadn't even missed a beat. I really do think that happened. I am excited about this meditation. This meditation is powerful because, see, what I'll tell you what it does for me. It shows me, I just shared about this at my home group on Monday night. It shows me, even with 30 days clean, right? Even with 30 days clean, my own thinking can get in my own way. My own thinking can get into my own way, my own self will. So for people that say, oh, you don't have any willpower. Oh, I have a lot of willpower. It's called self will and it has run riot. You don't even want to deal with my willpower. I have a lot of it. In fact, I have too much of it. You want some? No, I'm just joking, right? But our self-will runs riot and our thinking gets in our way because of all of our naysayers, of all of our doubters. We were our largest ones. I wish you could be in this room with me right now, because I'm just so feeling. I'm just feeling this. I can't even hardly talk. I'm so excited, right? I am so feeling this meditation today. How we can still be our own worst enemy. Our self-will can still get in the way. Our own thinking, what we think we're capable of, what we think we are not capable of, even though I am staring evidence in the face. Every meeting that I make, I am staring evidence in the face that it is possible. You know, I can remember a meeting one time as typical. I have a compassion for individuals that don't feel welcomed in our meetings. And I am known for trying to always make sure there's one meeting that is really well known in the community for compassion and hospitality. And I remember this was, I don't even know how long ago, almost 2 decades, a long time ago, at least 12, 13 years. I remember starting a meeting on this one particular side of town that really didn't have any meetings. And my old sponsor walks in. She's the first one to show up at the first meeting, the very first meeting. She shows up and um, I'm just upset, you know, because I have come back home from Africa and I have found that my bachelor's is not, I'm not going to be able to use my credits here without a whole lot of red tape, right? And so I'm just like, man, spent all that time over there. I'm just too old for this. I don't think I have it in me to start again. I'm going to have to start again just to even get an associate's to work my way up to a bachelor's. And I remember she came into that meeting and we just were sharing. And I shared, she shared, I shared something she said about, her business and completing an expedited program for master's. And it just triggered me. And I went to share and I just started crying. And it was the safest place to cry was in this meeting. And I was looking at the evidence in the face. She had an aneurysm and survived. I mean, it was amazing. And here she was having a very plush office in downtown, seeing clients. And this evidence was staring me in the face. And she said, baby, it just sounds like to me you need to just get started. Just go back to school. You don't even have to take a lot of classes, baby. Just take one or two. Just get started. See how you feel. And as you get started, ask God to give you the strength to carry out his will in your life. And she gave me the tightest hug. And I'm telling you, I've been going on that one hug and that one comment from her for the longest time. So I know that if I can do it, you can do it. I know that if you're struggling to put your self-will aside, it's time for you to let someone else in. It's time for you to allow Narcotics Anonymous to be there. The principles of our program, our suggestion to help you to put that self-will run riot aside and for once lean into the fellowship, the we of this program. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose.